What's the deal? You already know what it is. Back in this with another video to pop out to my young boys, maybe girls, but no, today, as the title suggests, just want to come in and give y'all some motivation real quick, because your time is coming. You just gotta not give up. That's all it is to it. You gotta be resilient. You gotta, it's the cat, but you gotta be resilient. You gotta be, you just gotta push forward, headstrong. Whatever it is, whatever passion it is, whatever it is that you seek to achieve out of life, whatever it is that you want, whatever your goal is, all you gotta do is keep pushing for it. That's probably one of the number one things, the number one pieces of advice, I can give a person as far as somebody who's trying to seek, who's trying to elevate, who's trying to, go up to the next level in the worldly sense, even, this applies even spiritually. You cannot give up. A big problem with a lot of people in society and why they can't find any kind of like success or any kind of breakthroughs is because people in general, humans tend to take the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance is just the easiest path. It's the smoothest road. It's the one with the least amount of hiccups, the least amount of bumps. But when it comes to building any kind of success or any kind of, building anything solid, anything, substantial, you have to understand that problems are going to be in the equation. Pitfalls and different obstacles, different things are going to be in the equation. That's inevitable. I seen a quote that said, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. So when it comes to pain and when it comes to these different things that might appear in your life as you going down a certain path and you're trying to achieve a certain goal, again, these things are gonna occur. The problem is, instead of people being solution minded and people being, the type of individuals that's going to, overcome, who's gonna find a way around it. A lot of people like to stay inside of a low state. They like to stay inside of the negative. Whatever negative occurs, people like to dwell inside of the negative, and they like to stay inside the negative and just lay dormant in that frequency. But again, that's a choice. At that point, that's a choice. Any type of pain or any type of negativity that you decide to dwell in or you decide to suffer in, essentially, you're choosing to do that. Because in actuality, your mind, again, I was talking about this in the last video I made. Your mind is such a powerful tool because your mind can shape your reality. Even if there's a negative situation going on or there's a bunch of things in your life that you can be negative over, there's also things that you can be positive for. And you train your mind to hone in on the things to be positive for, then you can move those negatives out the equation. Because the negatives is not gonna do anything. Dwelling inside the negatives is not gonna do anything but affect your performance, essentially. It's just only gonna affect your performance and prevent you from being able to operate on a high level consistently. It's very important that you keep your mentality and you keep your mindset in check, because your mind is, it's the engine that's essentially keeping you going. Is your mind is your attitude is going to determine your altitude. And essentially is what I'm saying. Your attitude is going to determine your altitude. If your attitude is toe up, not on point, You know, you worried about this one, you worried about that one, you worried about this and that, this bill, this person, this thing, whatever it is. You worried about all of this, the stuff that you know, you can't control, the stuff that's inevitable, the stuff that's always gonna be there. You let that stuff affect your attitude, then you essentially handicap yourself. You are no longer capable of being the person you need to be to achieve whatever goal it is you need to achieve. So when problems occur, again, you have to go into, okay, if it's something that's affecting your mentality, you know, if it's something you can't control, you got to understand, you got to take a break, breathe, and be like, okay, this is something I can't control. This is only thing I can control is how I interpret the situation. So again, look for the positives. Looking for the positives in life is always going to be super important. You got to keep that, you know, you got to keep a positive attitude. But then when it comes to, you know, not giving up, essentially, the person is when it comes to the success, when it comes to being successful at anything, is really gonna boil down to your availability. If you look at the people in the world who achieved whatever it is, you know, millionaire status, six figures, whatever it is, the people who are successful in life, is not the fact that it's nothing like they're better than you. It's nothing like they're smarter than you. They are, you know, more equipped or whatever, you know. More often than not, it just boils down to that person's availability and them being open to success. So again, and availability look like not giving up. A lot of y'all are not available for success because you can't commit to anything. You can't bear fruit, or you can't, you know, you don't stay the season where it's time to collect the fruit because you didn't gave up before the fruit even, you know, sprouted, before the fruit even came about. You already quit. A lot of y'all can't commit to a singular thing and stay in that lane, you know, because at the end of the day, it comes a problem where, you know, humans, we tend to want to have control over everything. We want to sit up there and predict the outcome. We want to see the path clearly before we walk down it. You know, it's no faith in people these days. People don't have faith that if they do the right things, or if they stay consistent to a certain thing, that the Most High is going to sit up there and, you know, make a way for that person to become successful. You know, people just want to control everything. They have to see it to believe it, essentially, you know, and that's a problem humans in general have been going through since forever. You know, when people wanted a God that they can see. You know, people don't want to serve or commit to anything unless they know for 100% fact that whatever it is they putting in, they're gonna see a return. But the thing is, you actually are guaranteed to see a return, but you're not. You know, it's funny how faith works, because we know that if we do the right thing, serve the Most High, be good to people, and, you know, we know that if we stay down that path to stay on that vibration, then good things is gonna come to us and we'll have a good afterlife. But these are things that we know. But if somebody told us to prove it, it's not nothing that you can just pull up something to be like, oh, here's the 100% proof. It's faith at the end of the day. And it's a big problem with everybody. You know, people can't commit to people can't commit to a job, or people can't commit to a person. You know, that's a big thing that's going on in society. People can't even, you know, sit up there and commit to a singular person. And really, I mean, that is, you know, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I'm talking about the women here. You know, women, a lot of our women can't sit up there and commit to a single man. They, you know, they gotta play the field. They gotta see this option, see that option, see that option. Okay, let me see what this heading for. Let me see what that's heading for. Let me see if this is a good alternative. Let me see if this is better. You know, it's just, you know, it's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. It's not even on the tip of my tongue. So, but it's just people can't commit. You know, a lot of these women can't commit to a single man. They can't commit to dealing with one person and building with one person through the negatives that's gonna occur. Again, negatives is inevitable. You know, pain is inevitable. It's part of life. You know, it's just simply how it goes. If you think about just think about the heart beating thing that's inside of you know, in the hospitals, the heartbeat, and it'd be like boop, boop, boop. If you look at that, you know, that's life. The heartbeat and everything, that's what it's up and down. Just think about what it looked like. It's a constant up and down. Life is constantly up and down. You know, you can sit up there and look into the Fibonacci sequence. You know, that's the spiral. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Anything that represents life is gonna be represented in a constant fair of ups and downs. Everything about life is just ups and downs. Only thing you can control is how you think about it, your mentality towards it, your outlook on it. You know, are you gonna take, or do you see L's as, you know, the world throwing L's at you? You know, do you see your losses as actual losses, or do you see them as lessons? Do you see them as something that you can take from and build on to essentially expand your mind and expand your growth and your potential as an individual? You can become a very powerful person once you take, you know, losses out of the equation. Again, it's all up here. There's never gonna be an outside source or somebody out there, unless it's somebody that's, you know, unless, you know, that's somebody you gotta watch out for. But let me finish the sentiment. It's not gonna be nobody, for the most part, that's out there telling you, you seeing the bright side of something, and they like, no, don't see it like that. You gotta see the negative. You should be upset in this situation. Be upset. If it's somebody that's around you like that, obviously you need to remove that person, because, you know, I don't know. I mean, clearly they tweaking. Some will be wrong with that person. But for the most part, nobody's in your head, or nobody's gonna even know about whatever it is that you're dealing with in your mind if you sit up there making a negative situation positive. Like, only person that can get in the way of that is you. Only person that's gonna keep you in that negative frequency and keep you on that lower state is you. And again, the key is just not giving up, just being persistent, being resilient. You know, success is not about ability, it's about your availability. It's about you being in the position and you constantly showing up every single day. You have to show up for success every single day. You have to be available for it, and you gotta be open to it happening, because it can happen. You just gotta stay 10 toes down and commit to whatever it is that you're committing to. And a lot of y'all is on the way, because, you know, typically, and I've yet to not see this pan out this way. You know, I've seen it happen to myself and, you know, other people in my life, where you can sit up there, and I know y'all experienced this too, but when you sit up there, you're right there, you've reached a quote unquote breaking point, and you about ready to give up, you about ready to throw in the towel, and you like, man, you know, I tried, this ain't it, whatever it is. You sit up there, you right there on your breaking point, and you say, you know what? I'm gonna just push a little harder. I'm gonna push a little further. I'm not gonna stop. And then right then and there, boom. That's when you have your breakthrough. That's when you get that promotion. That's when, you know, whatever outcome it is that you was looking for, you know, you was looking forward to, it happens. And I truly believe that's the Most High, because in those moments where your back is against the wall and it's becoming make it or break it type situation, and you thinking about throwing in the towel, and you there but you not, and you know you just having a moment of weakness, but you stick through it, the Most High tends to sit up there and award those people, because you're not acting on your sight at that point. You're acting completely on faith. You know, you relying on the Holy Spirit. You relying on Him to essentially guide you and get you out of whatever situation it is you in, or allowing him to get you to the next level that you need to reach. It's usually only, you know, one or two reasons why a person will want to quit or stop anything. It's usually anger. You know, you're usually angry about something. You're angry this ain't happening this way, or, you know, which ties into entitlement, essentially, you know, which is not a good thing, because that entitlement, you're essentially saying, okay, you expecting stuff to happen at this time. You expecting stuff to happen whenever you ready for it to happen. You know, you think things should be operating and things should be happening on your own time. So, and when it's not happening on your own time, you get angry, and that causes you to second guess, and that causes you to question certain things. And, you know, the anger sit up there and take you out of your rightful position. You know, you'll sit up there and lose your inheritance off of anger. And another emotion that'll sit up there and creep in is obviously fear. You know, fear creep in. You like, oh, if I keep doing this, you know, how is this gonna get paid? Or if I keep doing this, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? You know, it's anxiety. You're being anxious about the future. You know, we know fear is an acronym within itself. False evidence appearing real. Everything that you conjured up in your head, and you talking about, oh, I can't do this if I don't do this. I can't do this if I don't do this. Boom, boom, boom. All of those emotions, you got to think about. Even think about the things you're saying in those moments. I can't do this. Who's saying you can't do that? Who's to say you can't do it if you don't do this? You know, who's to say that the Most High is not about to, you know, influence that whole situation that you believe is a impossibility for you? You know, you completely ruled out the Most High in that equation. When you go into these you know, these tangents, you go into these mindsets, you go into your head, you go into these thoughts that aren't real. You know, you go into them, and that's the devil. The devil is at work at that point, because the Most High is not in the equation. You removed him out the equation when you started fearing and thinking that this can't happen because of your own limited, you know, human capabilities. This is not just a human world. You know, it's still spiritual things always at work, always at play, nonstop. So when you sit up there and be like, okay, because my human sight can't foresee this happening the way I think it should happen, or my human sight is telling me at this rate, if this doesn't pop off or, you know, do what I want it to do, then I'm gonna be punished this way. You know, all of that is just things that you conjured up in your mind that essentially isn't real. And again, when you sit up there and you stay 10 toes down, and you stay resilient, you stay down that path or whatever it is that you're pushing towards, you know, the Most High see that. He sees that you are completely relying on him to make something happen for you. He sees that, you know, you got these bills, and you got these different things, and these kids, and you got all of these responsibilities that you need to take care of. He knows. And he knows where your heart is. If you sit up there and push through the negatives, you push through the doubt, and you push through the fear and the anger, and you keep relying on him, and you keep saying, you know what, I'm gonna just stick with you, and we gonna see what happen. You know, you sit up there and start treating your thoughts like passing clouds, and stop identifying with your thoughts and making every thought mean the world, and making it super important. You know, you let the fear that sit up there pass by like a cloud, like, okay, this emotion is here, I'm feeling this, but I'm not gonna act on it. I'm gonna just let it pass, because I know I got faith that if I sit up there and stay committed to what it is that I put my mind to, then there's no way I can't be successful. And again, I'm telling y'all to have faith, but you also have to have the work, because obviously we know faith without works is dead. So you have to actively be active in whatever it is that you're pursuing. You know, I was just seeing a video. You can't sit up there and just commit to something, but you're not growing in the midst of what you're committed to. If you sit up there and stay inside of a certain skill, you know, you work on obtaining a certain skill, and you know, let's say, okay, I'm just use the example he used. He was talking about, like, for example, you say you're gonna upload a YouTube video every day. You know, you can sit up there and upload a YouTube video every day, but are you actively checking your analytics? Are you actively seeing how, seeing the type of content that your audience is absorbing? Are you actually paying attention and putting real work in to refine the craft or refine whatever it is that you're working on, rather than just autopilot doing something over and over and over and over and expecting the faith to kid, expecting, stuff to just shake for you? You have to actively be involved in what it is you're doing. You have to be cognitive and intentional with whatever it is that you're doing. You have to actively be, again, improving on whatever it is that you're doing. On top of not giving up. Again, when you sit up there and give up, and you're going down this one path and you give up and you say, you know what, all right, I'm throwing in the towel, I quit, boom. Now you have to find something else. You have to find another path to go down. And when you tend to do that whole period of you trying to find another path to go down, you have to think. Now you're stagnant. You're in place. You're looking, okay, where do I go now? Where do I go from here? What do I do next? But in actuality, if you sat up there and stayed down the path, even if it was a bumpy path and you kept failing, you kept messing up, boom. Even if you fail over and over and over and over and over again, you're still on a path. You're going somewhere. Regardless of how you slice it, you're going somewhere. But when you sit up there and stop, you quit, you get stagnant, you like, okay, now I gotta go find something else. Then you go to find something else. Then you like, okay, I'm gonna see what this info. Then it's not hitting, and then you stop again. Now you stagnant again. Now you look around. However long you stagnant, that's time being wasted. Now let me go down this path. And then even then, you wasted time, the time you spent going down the path initially in the first place. Cause it's like, it was for nothing. You didn't commit to it. You didn't see it through to the end. You didn't finish. So now you essentially just wasted your time and you got to find something else to do. It's just, you can't give up, y'all. You right there. I'm telling you, this is a message for somebody. You're right there. Just keep pushing. The Most High sees how hard you're working. The Most High sees, all the negatives and all the wrongs and all of these things that's going on in your life that should be throwing you off. But you're resilient. The chosen ones are. You're resilient, you pushing, keep on pushing, and you're gonna see the fruits. Like, you're gonna see the fruits. The biggest problem we have is, people just want things to happen on their time. You have to have the patience to allow, you have to have the patience to plant seeds and actually allow them to grow. A lot of people are caught up in, getting gratification right away. That's one of the biggest things that Satan did to this society. He got people hooked on dopamine, and we need it right now. We need instant gratification. We need to see results right away. We don't see results right away. We think that the plant ain't growing. We'll plant a seed and think it's not growing just because we don't see it. And then we'll sit up there and walk away. We'll leave the plant to die. So, we got to get out that habit. We have to, also move, and we have to definitely start moving in faith, and we have to start moving, and we have to start working to match the faith, and not giving up. Again, not giving up, being resilient. Understanding that negatives are inevitable. Negatives are going to happen. Problems are going to occur. It's life. No matter what level you're at, no matter what level you are, no matter how rich, no matter what you got, problems are inevitable. There's gonna be problems. Nobody ever gets to a certain level and problems just disappear. That's not gonna happen. So you gotta understand that in order to get to a level where you might see, less problems, or you might have more resources to deal with certain problems, understand that you're gonna have to go through a lot of problems. I mean, it's just kind of is what it is, y'all. But you just gotta be resilient. Don't give up. Remember, it's about availability, not your ability. Keep showing up, keep showing out. You gotta keep showing up and keep showing out. And then, the Most High is going to reward you for your faith, your resilience, and your just overall, your grit, just everything you got, everything you've been showing in the midst thereof. You're gonna be rewarded for it. tenfold. Just stay 10 toes down and wait your turn. You know, stay down till you come up. But, you know, that's the video for today. I just wanted to get on here and chop it up with y'all for a minute. More content is definitely on the way. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all. Take care, stay safe. I'm on y'all boys. This that reality shit.